Hey beautiful, thanks for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be talking about appropriate exercise on a low-fat, raw vegan, Ayurveda-informed lifestyle. So really thinking about bringing the two together, right? Your raw vegan lifestyle and Ayurveda as it pertains to how much exercise do we need to do. Everyone seems to have different ideas about what that looks like. And really, I think it's as individual as we are unique individuals with different needs, with different backgrounds, with different health issues, and things like that. So I'm going to be sharing from the space of my own experience because I know that story the very best. I have all the data that I possibly can, and that is the most truthful and honest space from which I can share. So that's where I'm going to be sharing from. So what comes to mind first is the perspective of Don Bennett, who is in the low-fat, raw vegan world. And he says we need to be moderately active. We don't need to be so active that we are, running marathons and ultramarathons and all of this. He expresses more of like a middle moderate approach, appropriate activity, not sitting on our rear ends all day long, and yet, like I said, not on the other end of the spectrum, running like 10 hours a day or something ridiculous, or even running at all. He says that things like spirited walking are more appropriate. And I must say, for me, this rings true. I have been a runner in the past, really enjoyed it, loved it, been addicted to it even. And for me, what I found is that I get injured easily, I burn out, I don't feel as good, I have pain every day when I'm doing that. I tend to focus on running or cycling to the exclusion of other activities like strength and flexibility routines, yoga, weight training, these things, and develop imbalances that way. So finally I've let go of the really intense, long cardio, endurance cardio, and I'm not saying that's bad or that you shouldn't do it. Again, I'm just sharing from my experience. I found that I feel a lot more balanced when I'm not doing those activities, and instead I'm doing walking every day. I'm hiking. I'm still covering the mileage. I still walk up to 6, 7, 8 miles a day, including all of my walking. My intentional outdoor exercise walk might only be 5 miles, but I'm on my feet a lot, I'm moving a lot, and I'm still getting those endorphins. I'm still getting my outdoor time. I'm still pumping my lymphatic system and getting the benefits of strengthening, my legs and my lower body and even my core when I'm intentional with that as I'm walking. So walking seems to be a good fit for me. I don't have the joint pain. The only problem I've run into is I walk in barefoot sandals, and sometimes when I've worn out my barefoot sandals and then getting new ones, breaking them in, has kind of torn my feet up, honestly. They got adjusted to the old ones, which I think I smoothed out the bottom of. So really be sure to find yourself some good footwear. There are lots of good options out there. I found that switching to barefoot sandals, now I can't really wear sneakers, running shoes, tennis shoes, whatever you want to call them. I get blisters. I really prefer the barefoot sandals. So on the other end of the spectrum, we have Doug Graham, so kind of the founder of the 80-10-10 low-fat, raw vegan, fruit-based approach to this lifestyle. And what he recommends in his book, The 80-10-10 Diet, which is an excellent resource for learning about this lifestyle, I highly recommend reading it. He recommends burning about 40 to 50% of the calories you eat. So aiming for that. So if you're eating like 2,000 calories a day, you want to be burning off somewhere between 600 and 1,000 calories worth if you want to lose weight, if you want to increase your caloric deficit without doing any kind of caloric restriction. So not being like, oh, I can only eat 1,000 calories, right? He recommends eating, a larger amount of calories and then increasing your deficit by increasing your exercise. And that, again, that resonates with me. And I find that right now I am aiming to burn somewhere around 700 calories worth of energy a day, and that seems to work really well with me. And I'm doing that in the form of a hot yoga practice, burning about 300 to 400 calories in a given hot yoga session, which are 75 to 80 minutes, very intense in a hot room, lots of vinyasa, lots of strength. I do extra push-ups. So it's a really awesome strength and flexibility routine just on a physical level. I've talked about the benefits of hot yoga in a different video, talking about more of the nuanced benefits other than the physical. So burning 300 to 400 calories in my hot yoga practice, and then burning an additional 300 or so calories with walking every day and, moving around, being active. So that seems to work really, really well for me and bring about a sense of balance and appropriate activity level where I feel energetic throughout the day. I feel like dancing. I feel like moving. I'm not feeling overly tired and fatigued. And at the same time, I feel like I am moving enough for me. So really encourage you to think about that, finding what works for you. I also want to talk about an Ayurvedic perspective on exercise. So this I could probably talk about in a different video, because there are types of exercise for each of the doshas that really ring true. But what I was taught in my yoga and Ayurveda training was that, again, you want to find an appropriate amount of exercise for you, for your dosha, appropriate type of exercise, so that, if you're Vata predominant, you are not doing a kind of exercise like, say, running or cycling that's going to throw you out of balance. You might do better to incorporate some grounding practices, more yin yoga, restorative yoga, tai chi, qigong, things that are going to kind of like slow you down and ground you, where someone like Kapha predominant folks are going to do better to have this more energizing practice, to do like hot yoga, power vinyasa, like a very energetic, lively flow. There are even times of day to work out depending on your constitution and your needs. Traditionally, what I was taught is that the morning hours are best, and then like the early kind of evening hours are best. So not really working out in the middle of the day, really dialing it in that way. And also this changes seasonally. So during hotter months, hotter times, you're definitely gonna want to get your workouts in the morning or in the evening when it's a bit cooler versus midday. And in the winter time, you might have more flexibility where, although still it would be nice in the winter to get in a morning workout so that your metabolism is revved up and your body is warmed up and you're able to keep yourself warm in the colder months. So just something to consider there. Again, Ayurveda stresses balance. So if you're doing exercise to the point where it's way too much excess, that would not be in your favor for long-term health, sustainability, longevity, wellness. And at the same time, just being overcome by inertia and stagnation and not moving and being overly sedentary is not going to be helpful either. That's going to get Kapha out of balance, whereas excessive movement is going to get Vata out of balance. So things to consider. Like I said, it's a very individual, And, the main thing I stress is, yeah, get enough, but also find something that you enjoy doing where it doesn't feel like, oh my God, I have to go to the gym and lift weights. You might not be a person who enjoys that, and that's fine, but let me tell you, there is a type of movement out there. You might not have discovered it yet, but there is a type of movement out there that you will find you're naturally good at and therefore enjoy. So I challenge and encourage you to keep trying new things until you find what it is that you enjoy. So please leave a comment. Let me know, how do you like to move? How much do you move? What perspective resonates with you in terms of movement? And yeah, like this video if you like it, subscribe for more, click the bell for notifications. Y'all, right now I'm on a roll. I'm doing videos every day, so you can always check back in every day. There should be something new. That's really my goal, is to share something new every single day. So let's connect. Let's connect more. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste. And get moving.